Hey, what's up, guy? How's your day going? Oh, nice. What was the piece you were working on? Yeah, please link it to me on Discord. I love Brahm. I think Brahms is awesome. I used to collect a lot of his stuff as a kid when he was doing, back when he was doing books. I don't know if he's still doing book illustration. I feel like now I don't know if he's doing the same stuff or not. That's really cool. He's writing his own books and he's illustrating. That's amazing. That's the dream for a lot of people, you know. I'll tell you what I'm working on with this image. I'm debating whether or not the shield she uses should be like a translucent energy where you can see her arm from underneath, the arm that I have sketched out, or if it should be a solid shield. I think both options have their merit. They have like something to recommend them, but yeah, is he a cool dude, bro? Um, he seems like a really cool guy. He seems very down to earth and very like frank with how he talks. He's very honest, and he comes across as very like unpretentious, which is something that I, of course, really like. Here, let me turn on this light. Yeah, he reminds you of me. How so? Well, the shield being translucent would be because it's supposed to be the future, a few hundred years, and I imagine the shield is like possibly could be something she calls up, like it's made of energy, you know, um, kind of like it's like an energy field with a contained space that she can summon from her glove, you know, and then retract. So her left arm or her right arm would have a special gauntlet where the energy projects. But I don't know. I just feel like the only drawback to that to me is that a translucent shield doesn't have the same visual power that you know that a classic metallic shield would have, even if it's made futuristic. And there's a lot of design ideas, so I think I'm leaning towards not doing that. You know. Thank you so much for saying that. I take that as a compliment. I mean, of course I would, because it's obviously that you're complimenting me. That's really nice of you, man. I would say thank you because I try really hard to be that way, but I think you can kind of determine a lot of people are just naturally pretty much like that. Like, I don't. Um, I think you're probably a very similar guy where you just like you'd rather not have a pretense of of any kind. It's like it's much life is a lot easier if you're just being who you are. I feel like the minute you start trying to project an air of sophistication, um, it can really be a lot of work to maintain. So that's why I'm that's why I speak very plainly, I guess, about certain things. I don't know. I For me, life is just a lot more fun when you're nice to people. Like, it's fun to be friendly. It's fun to to be nice. And like I'm sure in this business you've encountered people um, who are shockingly rude, where you're like, wow, I can't believe you're like that. And the thing is, those people, they hate themselves. They absolutely hate themselves, and I've encountered people like that where you can tell it's like, oh man, they are really unhappy. And mostly you just gotta feel bad for them. I don't know. I won't say who, but I've met people in the industry that one or two with whom I've worked, who were just so. It was so disappointing to meet them and how because they were so awful. Like, and it's not common. This is not like a widespread thing. I think most people who work in comics and illustration, most of them are very nice and lovable, and. Um, but every now and then. Yeah, I get. I see what you're saying. It makes more sense science fiction wise for this to be translucent, but for some reason, every time I try to do it, it just. Well, let me see. Maybe I can make it work. I'm worried that it just doesn't have the same power. Like, but I also don't want to lose her arm. Because a guy, were you here when I was working on the other designs for this project? Because it's like, it might be really good if I went for a shield that had like a shiny Art Deco kind of look, you know, to fit with the theme of the book. Yeah, so yeah, you're an introvert. Okay. Yeah, you see, I'm not. A lot of people are introverts in this field, and for some reason, I've always been very like if I want to be friends with someone, if I think somebody's cool, I just walk right up to them and like, hey, let's be friends. Like, I'm like a golden retriever. Like I've been compared to a dog a lot because I'm like this very big, excitable, like, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing for lunch? You know. And a lot of people in the field are introverts, and they're nice people, but like when you're that friendly, they're like, what's wrong with you? You know. So sometimes it takes people a while to warm up to me because I'm very like, you know. And one of the guys I worked with on another book would used to make jokes about how he's like, I don't think I've ever seen a comic book artist make as much eye contact as you do, right? Because I would just, somebody would come up to my table to buy a book and I'd be like, hello. And just like, you know, but whatever. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Dude, I love, yeah, are you a dog person? I love dogs. I think dogs are like, I think dogs are sacred creatures. I really do. They have an incredible innocence that's just like, What? You were an equestrian? that's, that's I don't I that's friggin' crazy, dude. That's like you're one of the first people I've met in my life who's I mean I think I dated a girl who did that like way back in college. Like I knew, a lot of girls like horses and stuff, but you competed? I gotta know more about you. You gotta like send me your social media where I can see you riding horses and stuff because that's like, um, you might find this interesting. I'm working on that King Arthur comic that I'm sure you've seen me talk about endlessly, and horses are. I don't know if do you find them hard to draw? Because it took me a lot of practice before I could comfortably draw horses, and I'm wondering if you, as an equestrian, find their anatomy more intuitive to sketch out, you know? Oh, that's really cool. Wow, we're pretty similar. I was one of those kids too. Um, just like couldn't focus on one thing, had a different obsession every week. You discovered drawing and painting at 21, and now you're working professionally? And you start at 21? Is that you that you're working professionally? Excuse me, right? You're working professionally as doing concept stuff? Because if you started at 21 and already working professionally, that's insane. That's that's quite a fast road. Quite a short walk to the top, as they would say. Did you start drawing at 21, or did you have some interest in art before that? But I mean, even if you see yourself as being not at the top, you're still doing this full time right now, and you're making a living off of it. If you don't mind my asking, and you started at 21, you've been drawing 9 years essentially. That is that's like I think good for you isn't really a strong enough way to put it. That is exceptionally good. You must have been working your ass off. Because I've been drawing since I was very, very little, and I only took a few years off after college when I was a boxer for a little while, and I was just fighting, and teaching boxing and all that stuff, and then I came back to it. So this, and like, my work is fine. I think there's lots of people that are better, but what you're looking at is 3 decades and change of drawing. So you getting there that quickly, that's awesome. Oh, hey, gross girl. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, line work is definitely where I'm most confident, I would say. That's like my home base, as a comic book guy. It's like, and I'm having a really good time drawing in this style. I love drawing like classic comic inks. I just think it's a lot of fun. And I don't know how pronounced I want to make her boobs. That's what you're watching me do. The side boob when a muscular woman's flexing. I'm trying to decide, like, do I want to be... Okay, yeah, that's a good middle ground. I'm still toying. I'm basically this is me designing this character. I'm trying to think about what else her shield needs, like, because it's going to be her logo, and I was thinking it would be these wings plus like a sword, in the middle, kind of like the character's called Shield Maiden, which as a fan of metal, you might like that guy. How's it going, gross girl? What are you up to? You working right now, or are you chilling out? Are you eating lunch? Eating lunch and checking on us nerds? How's your project going? I won't say the name of it because I know you're still working on it, but I'm curious about how that's going. That's great, man. Listen, I've been working in comics a long time, guy, and if you have any advice on how to send your work to gaming companies, let me know, because I've heard that people in gaming, they like comic book artists because line work like this is extremely descriptive for 3D models. You can verify that, guy, as someone who works in that field. I had heard that before, that it's like a lot of 3D modelers working in gaming, they really like when a comic book artist comes on, because it's like, the carving line work, it's like very clear to a 3D thinker, a 3D artist, of like, oh, that's how this is going to look. And it's so I've heard they find it really fun to work with, and that they find it easier. But you can verify that, or tell me that I'm wrong. I had yeah, I did have a game gig, but it was for a very small startup they were doing a comic book style game like and that was a couple of years ago, and then the company got bought out by you know how it is. They got bought out by like a larger conglomerate, and then they canceled like all of their projects, including the one I was on. And I'm still waiting to get that concept art back. So, which sucks because it was pretty cool. Like it was fun work. It was like I got to design a bunch of superheroes for this app game. Some mobile game they were doing, whatever. But I liked the art I did on it. I was enjoying it. Um, but now that's long gone. But I would love to do more stuff in gaming. The only thing that's been holding me back from doing, I mean, I have contacts and I could be exploiting them. I'm a little hesitant because I keep hearing about crunch culture in gaming, and I don't know if that's something I want to get into. But the money is supposedly pretty decent. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I will. I mean, right now, a lot of the comic stuff I'm doing is it's picking up. It's doing well. So maybe maybe it's just how it is. You just think about stuff, but like it may not be necessary at all to reach out. Hmm. It's too many tangents. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Thanks. Oh, don't sweat it, Johnny. I'm only gonna be on for like another 20 minutes, and then I gotta help my fiance get ready for a party she's having tonight. So I gotta clean up a little bit. You're saving up for a tattoo? That's cool, Gross. Yeah, and I second Guy's question. A tattoo of what? And I want to ask where the tattoo is going to be, but I don't know if that's inappropriate to ask a girl that on the internet. It's just such a like, where's it going to be? But also like, where's it going to be? You know what? No, this is too busy. Also, Maya, when are you going to do your when are you going to do your live streams again? We would all of us would tune in for that. Oh yeah. When you say pop, do you mean your dad? Sorry, is that a stupid question? Oh, I see. I looked back. You're talking about your grandpa. That's cool. It's a good idea for a tat. Hey, Damu, what's up? I knew someone was here and not talking because I have 6 people watching now, and I was like, I don't know. There's like 3 people talking. There's a few lurkers in the corner in their trench coats. I understand the desire to lurk, Damu, but you are also a charming person, so people want to hear from you. They want to hear what you have to say, even as you say it creepily from the dark corners of the chat, like a like an elderly man at an adult movie theater. Thinking's going good, man. Well, I think you tell me. you're the one. You're the one watching. You tell me. Is it okay? I'm having fun with it. Um, I was telling Gross Girl like this is like where I'm most comfortable as an artist is working like this. Just kind of just doing line art, in color. Demu, I forget. Are you Australian? Someone I know is Australian that I've met in these chats. Is it you? You an Aussie? And if you're not an Aussie and you're a New Zealander, please don't be offended. I know that Aussies and Newsies don't like that, or Kiwis they don't like that. I they don't like getting mixed up. So please don't punch me. You zoom out and then you get sad. What do you use to ink? Sometimes it's the tools. You gotta find a pen. You gotta find a pen, and by that I mean either digital pen or in real world pen, that agrees with your style and how you work. There's a great comic artist, Adam Hughes. Some of you might know him, and he said all working relationships, creative collaborations are always strained and full of conflict. With few exceptions, and that includes the tools you work with. So like try to have a tool set up and a work setup where that minimizes conflict with yourself. And I like that. That's cool. You from Oregon? Johnny's from Arkansas. No, I haven't seen that guy. Could you drop it in the chat? Drop a link for me if you're not too busy. Gross Girl says Damu, inking is harder than painting in a way because there's more room for error, not to affect the overall work in the painting. But inking, you waver a little one. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's. It's also really funny to me because you guys are probably all better painters than me. I'm sure. I mean, I can paint a little bit, but it's not really like where I'm most comfortable. But anyways, I think it's really funny when I talk to people like Dan Warren or like just other people who work in illustration, and they talk about line art and inking as being harder. Because to me, it's just like this is so easy compared to painting for me. I find painting to be a. I mean, everything you're saying makes total sense, Gross Girl, and like about how why one is harder than the other in some ways. And I know it's just from experience, but to me, this like I don't want to. This is gonna sound arrogant. I don't mean it to be arrogant. This type of art, like comic art, like line art and color, I could do this. I could do this casually forever. Like this is like not a moment of stress for me, honestly. I think it's because I've just done so much of it in my life. Like this is like 99.9999% of the art that I've been paid to do has been just line art and color. So, and I've been drawing comics forever and ever. So painting, it did make painting easier to learn because it felt like once your line art's down and you got a good solid base of drawing, painting is really just adding layers to it and smoothing it out. It really, as far as I'm concerned, it's just adding more volume to it using color and shade and stuff. And sometimes it means minimizing the line work, which is hard for me because that's always where my brain wants to go. But line art is like it's this. It's like, but I'm sure when you look at people who are like, I think the name is Anatole Finstark, the painter. I don't know if you guys know Anatole Finstark. I think that's the name. Anatole Finstark. I believe it's a he. His paintings are fucking incredible. And I can tell by looking at his paintings, he's not a line art person. It doesn't look like line art was used in the process. Like, it looks like he just threw paint on and just started moving it around and doing volume and then just like created an image out of like he pulled it down from the ether. Fascinating style. Like it's his work is beautiful. If you guys know who it is, if you know who I'm talking about, then you know what I'm saying. It's so different than how I work, and that to me is like working like that guy, like Anatole Finstark. It's like foreign to me. It's like something I don't think I could do. I would need to do something like this and then paint over it. Oh, I missed a lot of chat. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Damu. Like inking is the great revelator. It reveals whether or not you put the work into drawing, because line art is, you know, the flaws pop up. And I guess in painting you can hide certain things through style and color. Like you have really good color theory, you can hide some things. um, that's a good point. Yeah, I was gonna say, Gross Girl, I assumed you were more of a line art person, because the work of yours I've seen is not that different than mine. I mean, you definitely are more elegant. Like, um, you don't seem to, you seem to focus on form and design. Like, if you guys have seen Gross Girl's work, it's really great. Her like, she is like a prototypical cartoonist in the way that she does. Like, it's just like immediately she has iconic characters. She creates a character and you're like, oh, I get it. I know exactly what, like, and all of her designs are, they're both inevitable and surprising. Like, there's something there's something that you would expect, but then also surprises you in a way, which is like the perfect middle ground for doing cartooning, where you get the reader, you get the audience involved right away, where they know what they're looking at in a way that's intriguing. Um, yeah, you're right. Yeah, once you get the inking done, like this, the colors on this is gonna be, it's gonna be a snap, and I can't wait. I can't wait to do it because I love this character. She's coming together really well. Yeah, Finn Stark is an art director. Okay. Have you seen Finn Stark's gallery? His website? It's incredible. Thank you, guy, for dropping in the chat. And your wife's a character designer? That's so cool that you're married to someone who does like a similar profession. My fiance's a therapist, so our jobs don't overlap that much, except that they both involve crazy people, I guess. Yeah, please link that. In fact, if your wife, if you can drop the link to her stuff in the chat too, because we should promote your wife's work. I want people to see it. Uh, oh wow, so you come from a family of artists, Maya. That's crazy. My dad's a computer programmer. My mom does real estate. But they both had like artistic aspirations when they were younger that just kind of like fell a little bit to the side. But it's there. I have to go in a minute, you guys. That's really cool. I have a question to put to the chat. Oh wow, your girlfriend does biochem. Okay, so she's probably smarter than all of us. um, you guys must complement each other well because you're like right brain creative, and she's like left brain structural. Unless she's also like a cellist or something. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in here is like a savant of some kind. Yeah. Let me put a question to the chat, guys, and I would love to know what you guys think, and be honest with me. I'm gonna try to set up a Discord, like a real Discord with where people can hang out. For you guys, you know, for fellow artists who just want to chat and hang out, but also because it's been advised to me from my publisher. They've advised me to start. I mean, I'm doing more social media to promote the books that are coming out, and they're like, you know, a Discord where people can talk about projects and, you know, things that I have coming out would be good. I'm thinking about doing it. Would you guys be interested in doing in like joining? You know, if I made my Discord a habitable place for humans. Um, uh, and also I think I'm going to need help setting that up because I don't know what I'm doing. So I have someone I could ask, but he's already done a lot of favors for me lately, and I don't want to bother him. So if anybody wants to help me set up a Discord channel, I would I would pay you for your time. But that's something to put out there because I'm thinking that that would be a good way to make use of all this and yeah. If I had Discord, I would it would be easier to like post my streams on there. Okay, I think I might do it. I'm dragging ass about it because it's like a whole new thing that I'm gonna have to learn how to set up and um, what do you guys think of this character? I think she's cool as hell. I think she's a lot of fun. Um, just to reiterate for anybody who didn't catch the beginning, which I think is most of you, this is Shield Maiden. This is a character from my Pantheon project, the one I was working on the other day of the 1950s style superheroes. Um, I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna probably pick this up. I'm gonna pick this up maybe tomorrow and add like a background and do more cool stuff with her, make it into a full illustration. She does look, yeah. She's, thank you, yeah. She's very classic. I was going for like I mean, this stuff, like when I see characters like this, it makes me smile. You know, I like the superhero bombshell chick, you know, who's like, um, you know, she's got like a leave it to me, boys, like that, that kind of vibe. Um, and I wanted her to be kind of sexy, but I didn't want to push it so far that it's like, I don't want to make it too horny, but I did like the idea of her being, you know, she's like really well muscled, but she's got kind of a feminine thing with her skirt. I was basing some of her look on A League of Their Own, the baseball player outfits that the women wore for like the first female baseball league. And you can't tell by the drawing, but these at the bottoms of her legs, you see those. Those are going to be like they're not really stockings. I mean, I guess they are, but they're more like big boots, like combat boots that go all the way up past her knee. Like I like the idea of combat boots that go all the way up, almost like the Victorian boots that guys used to wear, like in Bloodborne. Um, but like where the bottom treads are like for like heavy running and jumping and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. And I just to clarify, this character Shield Maiden, I imagine her being like a pretty big girl. Like she's tall and kind of robust, you know. Um, and she's got kind of a loud voice, you know, like a real bombastic chick. She talks loud and she's very like really friendly, but also like, you know, um, where you would like you'd want to flirt with her, but you'd be scared, a little intimidated because she's so charismatic and kind of big, you know, and her. So yeah, that's a vibe. I can't wait to add color. I'm thinking like navy blue for parts of it, and then I was thinking like bright orange for some of this area here. I was thinking like a bright orange and then a blue here, then an orange skirt, and maybe blue boots or maybe like a third color. And for the shield, I was thinking like really like dirty gold, like Art Deco gold that you would see in like a future metropolis city, like kind of shimmering but a little bit tainted, like a stained steel. Um, the kind of thing you'd see on like the side of a plane or something. But I was thinking maybe the gold would be the outside, then the trim here would be like a silver. Or maybe I would reverse that. I don't know. But I think she's going to have dark hair, brown hair and big brown eyes, you know. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Oh yeah, I saw Finn Stark's. Dude, that painting he did of Lae'zel is like legitimately really like it's beautifully painted, and he also made her look really hot. Like I have to be honest, like he painted her form in a way that was like it was like a perfect like human specimen type thing, and he painted it really. But it's also a beautiful painting. I mean, it is horny. It's true. He is convicted horny by the horny police, but I like that painting. And I really like his Baldur's Gate stuff. Like it's awesome. And you know what? You call it pandering. I get it. He is. I guess it's somewhat pandering, but like maybe he also just really likes those games, and like you really wanted to paint those characters because that's a big part of Baldur's Gate is the romance. Like they create characters that you want to date. Like it's kind of interesting. Um, oh, you're talking about a different one? Okay, I have to see. I think I remember him doing some of Karlach that were really good too. But horny, yes, horny paintings. Hey Kyle, I regret to inform you that I am signing off now because I got to clean the apartment before this party tonight. Maybe I can be back on later. I might come back in like maybe an hour and a half if you guys are around. Um, but I think I'm gonna sign off because I told my fiance that I would, um, do the dishes and clean up the apartment before her friends arrive. We're having a cheesecake party tonight, so wish us well, and wish us much constipation. I know I'm supposed to go, but I really want to point out that Gross Girl said, Gross Girl says, horny is half of art history. It's true. I would say even more than half. I don't know. I mean, I do have a different position on it. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I guess I would have to see the pieces you're talking about, but I do feel like, um, and this is just my initial reaction. I could be wrong about this, but I do think that, like, erotic erotic inclinations are like a huge part of. I feel like maybe we need to be less focused on just on like keeping erotica away from other aspects of art, other faces of art, because they're all intertwined, you know. Um, but I also haven't seen the pieces you're talking about. It sounds like what you're saying is that they seem like pornographic. And if they seem pornographic, maybe that's not. Maybe you can make a case that it's not appropriate for what they're trying to do or promote. But like, I don't know. Um, I think it's a long discussion that we should all have. Oh, I think I know Dominic Mayer. Oh, they do collabs? Like they work on single pieces together? Okay, no, but I really have to go. Listen, I'm enjoying this conversation, so I don't want to leave. But I will talk to you guys hopefully maybe later tonight. Definitely tomorrow. I'll do another live stream tomorrow. Let's say the same time. How does that work with you guys? 3 o'clock? I'll do 3 to 5 or something, or 3 to 4. Or maybe I'll do earlier if that works better. Yeah, that's a good point, Gross Girl.